Alrighty folks, it's time. Let's make a cottage pie. I'm going to help Maisie. Come on. Okay, I'm going to Noah. So, here's my special assistant today. This is Miss Maisie. Some of you may have already met her, some of you may not. So Miss Maisie, say hi to everyone. Noah, you okay buddy? What are you going to do? And this is my executive special assistant, Mr. Noah. So, these two will be assisting me today. Maisie is already assisting me by eating a carrot and half a zucchini. So, yeah, she does a good job. Jokes aside, guys, we're going to make this cottage pie. So, I think cottage pie is one of those funny ones that we often, I think we get caught up in semantics a lot when it comes to cooking personally. Where does cottage pie and shepherd's pie and all that fall into it? You know, some people say that a shepherd's pie must be with lamb, and cottage pie traditionally has, you know, cut potato, resembles the shingles on a cottage. Look, let's, I guess, get away from that. Let's just look at making a cottage shepherd's, whatever. It's a pie with mash on top, really. What you put in it is up to you. I got three ways I like to do it. One I'm not doing today because I really don't feel like tomato. So there's three sort of ways you can often do it. You can do it really tomato based, lots of veggies and cheese and all that sort of stuff on top. You can do it with fresh mince, which is one way I'm going to do it today, and you can do it with leftover mince. Well, not mince, it's leftover roast beef. So I'm going to do a small version of that today. Miss Maisie, see, this is the one you're not allowed to run away with, okay? But you may investigate. Is that okay? Is that good enough condition for us? Yep. All right, cool. At the end of the day, make what you enjoy. So if you can get a hold of really good lamb mince, absolutely go for it because it's beautiful. It's really, really rich. It's tasty. It's amazing. Do it. If you can only get, like I've got, good old-fashioned boring old mince, go for that too. As far as veggies that go in it, look, I like to keep it simple. I put a little bit of carrot, some peas. You've already investigated this, you didn't want it. You know, some spring onion. And then what I'm going to do is with the leftover roast beef one, I've also got some leftover roast potatoes, which I am going to shingle. And I'm going to lay it on top, and I'm going to add some cheese. And then the other one, I'm going to do more traditional. We've got some mash, and it's just got some heaps of butter and some parsley through it. You might notice parsley, absolutely for parsley. I could live on parsley and not run out of that stuff at the moment. Apparently it's the best thing that wifey can grow. As I was sort of saying, like, I often decry the evils of packet mixes and that sort of stuff, but some of you may know that I don't have an issue with things like gravy, stocks, that sort of stuff, because nobody has time to make an au jus. Nobody really has time to sit back and make a demi. So you different types of gravy in that. So what I've got for one of them is pre-made gravy mix. I've just added water, gravy powder. So that's going to thicken up one. For the other, beef stock. So I've got 2 cups there, or for the guys over the pond, I believe it's about 21 liquid ounces. I got a really cool measurement jug that tells me how many cups and liquid ounces, just for you guys. As far as the amount of meat, I've gone sort of half a kilo of mince, sort of 1.2 pounds for the other guys, and then with the roast beef one, I'm only going to make a very, very small one of that just to show you what it means. So there's probably only about 250 grams there, or sort of, you know, just on half a pound. So I mean, let's begin. So I've already got because I get to use electric, yay, already got that nice and hot. Now I'm going to put the pan on. All we're going to do is start browning off our mince, and about that much oil. Guys, I don't have an issue with using plenty of oil, and unfortunately we're invaded by flies, but welcome to Queensland. Oil's a funny one. We decry how bad oil is, and it's going to make us fat. Overuse, yeah, absolutely. But use a little bit of oil to cook with. I don't think it's really causing any issues. So we've got the oil there. Shouldn't take long to get hot in that pan. While that's going, I'm going to just chop up my roast beef. So all I've done is literally, I've cooked off a nice roast beef rump last night, and just the leftovers are just going to be very, very briefly cook. Now this is probably a better one if you're a little bit time starved, because it's already cooked. So you don't really need to put a ton of time and effort into it. All I'm trying to do is break down the meat a little bit so it's not in huge chunks. You know, you think about the meat's already cooked, potatoes already cooked. All we're really doing is adding some veggies, a bit of a base to it, some flavouring, a bit of a sauce, and then heating it in the oven. Yeah. Lay down. Lay down. Gentle. Good girl. Help us get treats. I know, you're questioning, what about Mr. Noah? Noah knows to sit well out of the kitchen and get his treats. So that's almost heated up enough. Look, with the leftovers one, this is a great one for just whipping up whenever, because I'm sure you're going to have gravy around the house. And that's why I'm using that, is for this really quick one. And then I've got the more traditional style that I'll use proper stock and I'll thicken it up and, you know, make them nice. So that's nice and hot. About a cup of spring onions, straight in. No point messing around too much. I haven't used garlic in this because lactose intolerance in the wife means no garlic for Obi. Makes me sad. Just saying. So as I said, I've got that mince there. I'm just going to sort of break it up a little bit so it's not in huge chunks, because it makes it easier to spread out later and much easier to serve. So I just use my hands, honestly, here. Just break it down. No need to overdo it. Some people like to chuck in the pan first. I find that you still end up with these really big chunks, whereas just kind of, I'll try and do it over here so you can see what I mean. Kind of breaking it up into little bits with your fingers just seems to work a lot better for me, and it's my preferred way of doing it. So. Now, we'll brown that off, stir it off for sort of 5 minutes, maybe 10 max. While we do that, I can get the other little pan out, which should be a pan where would I put it? Again, we'll get to that in about half an hour when the electric stove heats up. It's what I wouldn't do for gas. So, while that's browning off, it shouldn't take too long, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Nice. No, not even that long, 3 or 4 minutes. We'll get this potato cut up. So, all I'm going to do is really cut it into nice little rounds that I'm just going to lay over the top of this cottage/shepherd's pie. We're not, you know, stuck on one pie type around here. We'll eat any type of pie. This means you can't have potato. Potatoes are nightshade, you'll die. Well, you can probably have a cook, but remember the talk we had? Nightshades kill you. Don't eat them. Enough. So what I did was, when I roasted these off, because I knew I was going to use them for this, I actually added little, you know, like you do like shingleback potatoes. I added little partial cuts in them just to make my life a little bit easier today. And I let them kind of crisp up a little bit on the inside. You can see what I mean. I think it just comes up quite nice. Now, it's browning up beautifully. Pro tip, I've preheated the oven to 200. Ish, 200. Oven talk, actually. This is a good one. I don't know if I've covered it with you guys before, but with your oven, everyone is really, really scared to heat up the oven to any sort of temp. Don't be. It's not going to bite you. You can sit in an oven at about 220 degrees. I mean, here at home, I'll often run it at about 250. Commercial ovens, we run even hotter. As long as you keep an eye on the food, you can cook things a lot hotter than you think, particularly your simple things. Like you're chucking some chicken drumsticks in there, chuck them at 200, let them get some crisp. 180 degrees, which seems to be the default setting for a lot of people, isn't cooking much. Personally. Alright, so we've got this other one going, another little bit of oil for that. I did have spring onions. You didn't eat them, did you? Of course not. Maisie is way too good a helper for that. So again, as I said, this is going to be quite a small one. So just a handful of spring onions there. Straight in. Again, onions, nightshades, all these things bad for you. Last thing I need, that helps. And this is medicinal. It's got tonic in it, tonic water. Tonic water is good for you. So, beef, straight into that one. Now, given the beef's already cooked, I'm not as fussed about trying to brown it off or anything like that. Just trying to get it in there. For that one as well, we've got probably 1/4 cup of carrot and peas. Go over there. So again, I'm just bringing that one to the heat. I'm not bringing it up to temp really. Get rid of some rubbish, shall we? Some dishes. As far as I'm concerned, that beef, lovely and brown. So I use a nice wide open pan for this one. It's good for videos and likes. So spread the beef out, give it a pat down where I need, and it browns off quicker. You know, so I've got this big deep pan. And about 1 cup of carrot and peas for that one. So we're going to cook that off. So again, I'm keeping it simple, but you can have whatever you like. You know, I wouldn't go adding your leafy greens, so broccoli and the like. You're going to go soggy and you're going to get crap. But any root veg, you know, you can actually add potato to it if you really wanted to, but sort of semi-traditional as your peas, your carrots. Bit of celery goes amazing in it. I just didn't happen to have any because when I started doing the video, I had 2 beautiful sticks of celery about here. Then I warmed it off and I came back and both sticks were gone. See that face? That is a guilty face. So we don't have celery in this one today, but normally I would have it in it. So we'll cook that off. Now, what I've done is I've got about, as I said, 2 cups of stock. I don't know if I will need the full 2 cups for this, but what I'm going to do is just add 1 cup to start. So I've used a really good potent beef stock. So I tend to like your sort of powdered stock cubes. And I'll sort of use 2 stock cubes to the first cup, and then 1 per cup afterwards. So if I'm doing, say, 2 cups like I have, I'll use 3 stock cubes. If I do 3 cups, I'll use 4 stock cubes. So I always sort of use 1 extra stock cube. I find they're awfully salty, but not always salty enough, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to let that simmer ever so gently for maybe 5 minutes max, and we'll be ready to go with that. So with that one, I'm going to thicken that up with cornflour. So as I said, for this one with pre-done beef, I'm just going to whack a bit of gravy in it. Now, this one here with the beef in that is probably closer to what a shepherd's pie originally was, which was leftovers, what they could find, with usually a gravy or a stock, and potatoes. That's really where it kind of comes from, whether it's shepherd's or cottage. As far as cheese, I'm going to whack some cheese on top of the shepherd's pie, but I'm going to leave the cottage pie with just that nice potato crust. So you can go whichever way you want. If you like cheese, add cheese. If you don't. There's no set, I'm going to put up a set recipe, so to speak, or what I've done here. But tweak it, add things, take things away. That's the joy of cooking, is it doesn't have to be what someone else tells you in a book or a video. Eat what you enjoy and cook it the way you enjoy it. That's the main thing. We sometimes make things, and I say this plenty of times, we make things too difficult. And I don't think we do it deliberately, but we do. Cooking can be the easiest thing in the world, but it can take a lot of spoons. So that's why I'm trying to offer, here's a big, long one, you know, with fresh veg and, you know, fresh mince, and I made mash and everything. Or there's your leftovers. Nice, quick, easy. I mean, this, honestly, is just about ready for the gravy, which will then bring it up. Maybe your carrot and that's going to cook in the oven as well, so you're not stressing too much about making sure that's cooked, as much as getting that meat brown, getting some sort of Maillard reaction. Never remember how to pronounce that, Maillard. I hate the word. Whereas for this one, it's purely about getting a little bit of heat going through it, so you're not trying to like cold produce straight in the oven. Never works well. Alright, so for the mince, about half a cup of water there. About a tablespoon of, well, teaspoon corn flour. Give it a bit of a toss with a fork. Straight in. Give that a bit of a stir and that'll start to thicken it up just that little bit without overdoing it. You don't want it, you don't want sludge. Trust me on that. If you find it's a little bit too watery, like I think that one is, a little bit more corn flour, but a lot less water. So you're almost making a paste rather than something runny. So I'm adding about another half teaspoon. And this time, significantly less water. Keep in mind though, it will thicken when it heats. I've done this enough times now to know what's going to thicken and what's not. But corn flour thickens upon heating. So, now this one is probably a little milder, along with the mince. So that's heated through, cooked nicely. We've got our gravy straight in. We'll let that thicken a bit. It'll probably need some water, which is where the stock will come in. Now you could add gravy to the other one if you wish. You could do mince and gravy. Again, do what makes you happy. You know, we're here to eat food that we love, not what someone else tells us to. And do what you're capable of too. You know, obviously some people are going to look at these and go, wow, way too much work. Keep in mind, I'm doing two at once to try and show two different styles. It is a lot more work. I've got the spoons for it today. It's a day off, I've rested, and I feel good. So, surprisingly, this one looks ready first. Probably because I forgot that I had gravy. So, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to spoon this in over here quickly. So it looks gross, I'm not going to lie. It's absolutely vile. Being corn flour, look, people are going to wonder why I didn't possibly cook it off a little bit longer. You could, absolutely. But corn flour doesn't tend to leave that horrible floury taste that normal flour would. It still is there a little bit, but look, I find unless you're desperately searching for it, often you're not going to notice it in that small amount that I used. Personal opinion. This is pretty much what this entire thing is about. So, this one is pretty much ready as well. So all I've done is let that gravy thicken up quickly. So I didn't use a ton of gravy, there's maybe a tablespoon in there. And, sorry Miss Maisie, I stepped on you. Alright. Super easy that one. Now, I'm going to do this one first. So this is our shepherd's. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit the potatoes straight on top. I'm not going to stress or fuss too much. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't even need to look perfect. Shop. You know, if I'm in a kitchen and you're paying 25 bucks for something, I'm going to make it look perfect. If I'm at home and being pestered by a four-legged buffhead for her dinner, which actually is soon, I'm probably going to be a little less bothered. So, technically, supposedly, that is why they would call it a cottage pie, because supposedly it looks like the shingles on a roof. However, to me, it's leftovers made into a pie. Just going to grab some cheese in a moment. Now, pro tip for holding cheese, we keep ours frozen, and I find it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference once it's over. It melts just as quick, and I don't have cheese go off. So I'm just using a nice tasty cheese here, and I'm not overdoing it. We just want a little bit of a crust on that. To me, plenty. You might want to double that, triple it. Oh, up to you. Straight into the oven. Now the fun one. How do we not make, oh my god, flies. How do we not make an upside down shepherd's pie? Stiff taters. Stiffer the better, while still adding plenty of butter. Got some more on, yes. Okay, possibility. What we're going to do is kind of spoonfuls. And we're just going to place it on top. Don't try and push it down or anything like that, because you'll end up with an upside down. What you can do, so I cooked this a little while ago, so it's not too hot to handle. The other way you can do it, so you don't mind getting your hands a little bit messy, make little patties. Okay? With your little patty, lay it on there. I find it's, honest to God, the easier way to do it. And it saves you having to try and flatten it, and it also enables you, if you don't mind getting your hands again, a little bit dirty, press it down, get it neat. It doesn't turn it upside down, you're not applying too much pressure, and you're not having these really thick bits of potato either. So all I've done with that potato is, as I said, parsley, salt and pepper, a bit of butter. There's probably 4 or 5 decent sized potatoes. Again, it's all in the recipe. Right. Now, I'm going to add some salt and pepper to the top of that, because most of things too much. And what will happen is that potato will actually crust up beautifully. That'll probably go in for about 30 minutes until we get a nice crust on it. And then I'll splice this all together and get to see what it looks like. I'll chat to you soon, guys. Have a good one. Bye. And welcome back. So, what we now have is our shepherd's pie. So, as I said, it's not always about being pretty. An omelet's typically not the most pretty thing, but that there, I love. So that's that full from scratch shepherd's pie. So it's got a nice crust on top. And now, my probably personal favourite, because it's going to be all crunchy and crispy, that's our leftover shepherd's pie. That there, so much flavour, okay? And because I haven't overcooked the gravy to start with, it's going to be quite gooey, quite dense and rich. So, 2 different types of shepherd's pie, or cottage pie, whatever the hell you want to call it, all the same stuff, cooked from scratch, to a point, and tasty as hell. Guys, get into some good food, conserve your spoons, drink water, we'll chat soon. Bye.